Hi there, it's Karen here. Welcome back, and today we're going to be doing Roxy's Weekly Challenge week 15. And what Rachel made in her challenge was what she calls scrap paper booklets. Now, I'm not going to be making those exactly the way she did. It's going to be more of an inspired by sort of video, this one. I looked at those, I thought, they're not really the sort of thing I would use in my journals. They tend to be a little bit more themey, and I'm not sure that they would quite work for me. So I'm going to be doing something a bit different, but still kind of with the same vibe as what Rachel was doing and with the same finishing. But I'm going to be doing more like scrap paper pads, like for writing on, rather than just decorative papers. There will be a bit of decorative paper in there, but there's going to be more writing pads. That's what I find what I would prefer to make. So I'm kind of giving it my own twist. I hope she'll forgive me, but I don't suppose she'll ever watch my video, so she'll never know. But this is more my take on what she's made. And I've got a whole selection of scrap paper around me. So I thought I'll make different sizes of paper pads because they can go into different types of pockets, and you can make mass making these is probably a really good idea anyway. So I've got a pile of very small scraps, and then I've got a pile of slightly bigger scraps, and a pile of more or less full size or much bigger pieces, so I can make some big pads, some pads for different sizes. And then I'm going to finish them off with some decorative papers and the twine or whatever finishing that Rachel used for hers. But you'll see as we get there. I'm just going to put together some little packs at the moment. So I thought I'd put together a few small ones first. So this is from a fly paper. I've just gone through some of my old books and pulled out a few fly papers. So I'm just going to do just a random selection really of papers and try to keep them all of a similar size or width anyway. They don't have to be the same size lengthwise. In fact, I want them to be a bit scrappy and tattered looking and a little bit and different lengths. So if I'm going to use this as my widest point, so I'm going to just tear this piece, and I'm just going to pull out a few pieces at random really, but just try to go with some different styles of paper. So some of them are digitals, well they're pretty well all digitals. There's a few other bits, some coffee dyed papers and other dyed papers as well. So a bit of blue dyed paper here, a little scrap of paper, maybe one more little piece on top, maybe just a little scrappy piece. And I'm just going to paper clip them together until we do the next step. So let's just pop that's first one, and I'll do another one of those. I've got enough papers to make several here, but I don't think I'll make, I don't know, maybe 2 in each size or something. So let's start with this piece. And make it slightly narrower. So a piece of that, a piece of coffee dyed lined paper, which is a bit wider, so I'll put that one at the back. And some pink avocado dyed paper that can go right at the back. They're getting a little bit wider, but not too much. Piece of lacy scrap paper. I'm just going to tear it off roughly across the bottom and then pop it in somewhere. Well, I didn't really want it to be quite as misshapen as that, so I'm just going to tear a little bit more off. I want it to be rough on the edge, but not all over the place. So, well, that can go there. What's this? No. A piece of this pink. I've got a slightly pinkish vibe going on in this one. Put that under there. How many have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do a 6th one, a small one on the top. Take that off a little bit just to shorten it so we get the different lengths. I don't want to lose this bit at the bottom, so I'm going to put that one there. And I think I will just use this ruler just to give it a little bit more of an interesting edge. There we are. That's that one. Oop. So I don't know how many of you join in with Rachel's challenge, but usually I like to stick pretty closely to her tutorial, but occasionally the things that she makes don't really speak to me for whatever reason, and I just either don't want to make them, and I reserve the right to not make them if I don't want to, or in this case, the first time I think I've done something it's not completely different, but something different to what she's actually made. But I feel like it's a similar idea, similar vibe. So I'm going to stick with that idea. There's a couple of those, so I'm going to move these aside now. I mean, you can always make more. I mean, I could make probably about at least 4 with just the little pile I've got here. But I'm going to put those aside somewhere. Where if only I had some aside, I could put them on. But I don't have a lot of space. It's all a bit. I'm going to have to do a bit of a tidy up. It's getting a bit crowded in here. So I've now got a slightly bigger pile. So I've got a piece of grid paper here. I still don't want them to be too big. But they can be a little bit bigger than the ones I've just made. Just going to tear this down a bit. So longer rather than too much wider. I don't really want them to be too wide because they've got to pop into a pocket, and I want to have the most options possible. This is quite nice paper, but it's not particularly, well, it's a bit thicker than the usual copy paper. I think this is about 120. I might put this one at the back. It's a nice quality paper, that. I don't know whether it's a little wide. I think I might stick with that as the, let's see how wide that is. It's only 3.5, so it should go in a pocket. So if I make that the widest piece, put this piece out. And put that. Let's go for a bit of a mad colour. I think we all know which journal this could fit into. Yeah, I thought, well, I might as well make some with the journals I'm working on in mind, mightn't I? So we've got that piece. I think I'll pop that at the back, or near the back. And what else? A piece of this, just a digital from it's a sewing kit from a long time ago. Piece on there. What else can I put on here that would work well? A piece of this. This is some Your Creative Studio packing paper. That's very nice to write on. So where shall I put that? Put that on there. So I've got those. Try and get them together at the top, roughly central, and then we pop a paper clip on. So this is just the first start of a process that I've put together in my own mind of how I'm going to make them. And that's there. Let's do another one. Let's do a lacy one. It may have a lacy journal coming up, as you know. Background. Excuse me. What I'm going to put on here. I'm so sorry, my cold is coming along nicely. Oh, you probably haven't heard. I've been doing videos over the weekend, which are going to be I'm filmed ahead, so you haven't seen them yet. And I've been talking about my cold that's just been coming and developing as over the weekend, and now it's kind of arrived. But you haven't really heard me talk about it before now. Let's go about there. So yeah, I've got a bit of a cough coming now, so it's still fairly early stages. I think it can get worse before it gets better, but I'll plough on. Hopefully I'll be able to take a few days break from filming if it gets too annoying. That piece there. Very faintly coffee dyed, this one. That one. A little bit of this pink. It's really pretty. Turn that off. I've got all the colours because there are a variety of colours in the kit that I'll be using for my ballet journal, which will be coming up fairly soon. And I've been saying this for a while, but until the last of my forest journal videos have been seen, there's no point in me starting something new quite yet, and I might need a little break. Just do something else, maybe some ephemera making or something, just to have a little break from journals, and then I'll come back and start the new one. I'll tear that down a bit. Or should I make that the back piece? Maybe that should be the back piece, yeah. I'll tear this one down a little bit. Okay. 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm trying to do, in case you've noticed, about 6. 6 on each for each pad. Little piece of coffee dye paper there. Pop that on, and that one's ready. So these take no time at all to make. It's all in the preparation. It's taken me probably about an hour to get myself ready this morning. Find all the bits of paper that I want to use. And the thing that took the longest was finding this ruler. It was buried in my box, in the box I have in front of me. It had fallen down and got buried, and it took me ages to find it. I thought, I can't do my video without my ruler. I just can't. So that one. And what else can we do? Something slightly different. one. Got a piece of lilac paper here. I think I might just take off those holes. And tear that off. Tear that down a little bit. Just tidy this up a little bit. Use that. So we got a bit of piece of this. That one. Bit of that. Just putting in whatever odd pieces I can find. I might just tear the bottom a bit. And what about a bit of pink polka dot? A little bit too wide. It's okay. It's a little wider than the background one, but not a problem. That one. And then these two. And put them together with a paper clip. Shall I do one more? How many have I done so far? One. Got a collection going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We need to do at least one more, I think. Getting through lots of my scraps. Just that these scraps are scraps you can write on rather than too decorative. But they are a bit, you know, some of them are quite pretty, so I'm quite happy to be using them. Got a lacy piece here. Put that at the back, I think. That piece. That's too small. Right, I think I'll tear this down a bit. Another piece of that slightly thicker paper. Make a nice background for the pad. That one. Let's go into my bigger pieces. See if I can find something usable. I like this piece. Tear that across the top a little bit. one in here. No, I think turn it up that way so I've got a straighter edge that side. That's better. And then that one. And what else do we want? Ooh, nice bit of this, bit of green would be good. Lovely piece of Roxy Creations. Let's take this white edge off. I'm just going to tear it down just a little bit more so it fits within the width of the whole of the rest. And pop that in. Oh, it's still a bit wide, isn't it? Maybe I'll put it at the back. There we are. 5. What else do we want? A piece of this lovely fly paper maybe. Let's put that way up. So pop it in here. I've made it too wide, haven't I? I'll tear it again along there. That's it. And that one can go there. I want the staggered look. Yep, that's better. And of course that's the wrong one. That's going to have to go in here. And that goes there. That goes there. That one's done. And we'll paper clip those together. I think that's enough for now. Put all these scraps aside. Got a big clearing up job to do afterwards, haven't I? Ooh, right. Okie dokie. Now the next thing I want to do is for each of them to have a front page, something a bit more decorative on the front. I mean, it's a little bit decorative, and it could stay like that. I thought it'd be quite nice if I can find something, because I've stayed quite narrow. A lot of the pieces I've pulled out are a bit going to be a bit wide unless I tear them down. So something like that would be quite nice on there. Although I really wanted him to cover the whole thing, didn't I? What about that one? Like that. It's a little bit wide. I might just make this one a little bit narrower, just so it's not sticking out quite as much. Oop. Yep, that's better. Oop. Right, so that's that one. Let's have something on here. So we've got sort of those colours. This piece might look quite pretty on the front. Right, that's that one. This one, what can I put on here? So we've got pink and blue and, yes, okay. So something like that would be good on here, I think. Just tear that a little bit across the top where I've got, I think it's where there was a fold. Just get rid of that little folded piece. And let's get the width. Put this one in here. Right, so this is the one with all my warm colours. This will go for my Moroccan journal. So I think I might use a piece of this, which is some lovely Florentine paper, which I think will go beautifully on here. Just tear that to size. There's that one. So, yep. And we've got our two little teeny weeny ones. Well, they're not that teeny weeny, but this one I think. That go on there. Or could I do it that way? No, that's not really going to work. I'd like to use this piece on here, I think. Just tear it off a touch at the top. So good, I have to just take the paper clip off and just get on with it. Realign and then pop it back on. I can get hold of it. Okay, that one. And the last one, can we put on here? It's a sweet piece. There. Make it a little narrower. Nope, upside down. Yeah. That's that piece there. Okay, so we've now got all 6 have got their front pages. So the next thing I want to do is find another little piece of paper to wrap around the top. Something perhaps a little contrasting. Selection of pieces here. I think that one can go on there. I like this one here. I've just got to tear it into a shape that will work. Be thoroughly mauled about this piece. Okay. Some of the shabby dabby doo-dah. William Morris paper this is, so needs to be about that wide. Or maybe if I do the length first. Doesn't need to be very big. At least I hope not. I might just finish this one to make sure I have got this size of this right. It might need to be a little bit bigger, I don't know. I'm going to pop that piece over the top. Right. Make sure they're all reasonably central in there. It's even. And I'm going to put the paper clip on over at the side, turn it around, put it the right way around. So kind of holding the piece of paper on. I'm going to make a hole here. A small hole with the big bite. Obviously a lot of you will probably have a crocodile, but no way I'd be able to use one of those, so I've got this. So roughly in the middle. Okay, I think that will work fine, that size of paper. Ooh. Alright, so that's that. I'll come back and put some bits of twine through them afterwards. So let's go for this piece. Looks about the right. Close enough on the width. Fold that in half. One thing I like about this little project is we haven't got to use any glue. which is nice. A no glue project. I wonder if I need to put that back on. I might just go for it and put this straight in here. Is that a good idea? I don't know. Are we in the middle? Now I'll put the paperclip back on. Right, what have I got here? I've got a piece of the, a piece from the kit. I'm trying to say, a scrap piece that I had. It might be a bit too big. I don't know. It's a slightly bigger pad, so it can take probably a bigger piece at the top. But it's not very straight. Right. Move the paperclip over a bit, which I might just realign these, make sure that they're all... How many paper clips have I got? Oh, I picked 2 up. No wonder it was looking a bit thick. Why have I got 2 paper clips? Do that one in a moment. Okay, take this paper clip off. No wonder it didn't look very aligned. Okay. Line that up. I will put it back on. That seems to be the thing to do. Hold it together. I'm just going to trim off this piece at the end. It's just a little wide. And we'll put that hole in. This one. Yep, I think I'll do that. I actually quite like the slightly uneven edge as well on this side. Make sure they're all lined up at the top. Just trim that little piece off at the end. Okay, and we'll pop our hole in. Okay, that one's done. And I've got 2 more. Right, let's see if we can find a nice piece for this one. Piece of jelly print. It's a bit of lilac at the back. How would this look? No, I'm not sure about that. I wonder what we've got here. Oh, this piece might work. Bit of, don't know. Doesn't really go with the front, even though it's the lilac at the back. Oh, that piece is better. Okay. a little uneven at the back. I'm just going to tidy it up. And we'll pop that on there. Make sure it covers all of the papers, because I think the front one's a little narrower than some of them. So I'm just going to trim at this end because that's the plainer end. Alright, and I'll put a hole in there. That's that one. And the last one, which is the longest one, we've got in here some greens, some lilac, lacy bits. Can I put in here? Bit of that. Getting fussy now. Oh yeah, maybe I'll do that piece. I'm not going to cut it to perfect size. I'm just going to trim it after I put it on, because I'm bound to get it not quite right if I try to do it before I folded it and fitted it on. I'm bound to make it too short or just not quite right. So I've given myself a bit extra to play with. Okay. Right. And the hole. Okay. I had planned to have a nice chat with you while I was doing all of this, but it seems that because I have to think about it, I'm not very good at talking and thinking at the same time and trying to concentrate on what I'm doing. But we've had a really lovely week, really. We've seen quite a lot of our grandchildren, which has been delightful. And we had a day, Monday in particular was a lovely day. We were looking after Alyssa for the day, because it's been the school holidays. We're just at the end of the school Easter holiday right now. And we'd had her for a couple of days the week before, well, for an evening, and then the following day. The idea was she was meant to sleep over. That was the Thursday and Friday. She came for a sleepover, but when it came to the point, she wanted to go home. We let her talk to her mum on the phone, and that was a mistake. FaceTime her to say goodnight. And as soon as she saw her mum, she said, "I want mummy, I want to go home." So we had to take her home and then pick her up again first thing the next morning. I'm just getting my twines in. Yeah, so then we had a nice day with her on Friday, so that was fine. But mainly we stayed here. We brought her bike with us. She went out on a bike ride. But yeah, then we had her again on Monday, and we had a really lovely day because we took her to a mini golf place. It was actually a garden centre. Garden centre? No, it's pet shop. A big place. It's more of a pet centre really, where they had. It's mainly an aquatic centre where they sell fish and all sorts of marine life and tanks and all the stuff that goes with it. Sort of thing that my son-in-law George is really into. He loves all that kind of thing. He's got a tank himself. It's not a huge one, but he really enjoys looking after it and buying things for it. But they also had pets, furry pets, guinea pigs, rabbits, a variety of things, and a whole load of birds as well. So Alyssa really enjoyed that part. And then we went on and did the mini golf, which she'd never done before. And of course, she did it her way, but she thoroughly enjoyed herself, I think. And then we met Hannah and Arlo for some lunch in a really nice cafe that we've been going to quite a lot lately. It's a vegetarian cafe, quite near Hannah. And Alyssa and Arlo adore each other. It's so sweet. I think because he doesn't know anybody else like her. He either knows other mums, because where Hannah takes him to little baby groups that she goes to meet other mums and other babies. So he's come across other babies, but he's never come across somebody quite like Alyssa. And his little face just lights up when he sees her, and she bounces around. She adores him. So she bounces around and talks to him, and they, it's so sweet to see them together. And then we all went back to Hannah's afterwards. There we are, that one's got its twine. So that's just got a knot in it. So the idea is that you could take them out or just use it as a pad, but it's all accessible. Just open it up and you've got a nice little notepad. So that's the idea. So this finish is exactly the same as what Rachel was doing on her little booklets. I'm just doing mine a bit different, and that works a bit better for me. So I'll just carry on doing those. So this one, I think I might use some of this baker's twine. Yeah, so that was lovely. And so we had the lunch, and then we all went back to Hannah's, and Arlo had a nap, and Alyssa helped Hannah make biscuit. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Just catches me now and again. Yeah, they made biscuits, and we made her some tea. When Arlo got up and they had their tea together, he's just starting on some solid foods. So we had them sat at the table together, which was sweet. So a lot of firsts were happening. And she loved it. I think he did too. Having her sitting there all bouncy and lively and full of beans as she is. And then we took her home, and then the next day we were back at Hannah and Arlo's because we were looking after him for a little while. Well, she had to go. I think she had an appointment, so we stayed with him just for an hour. But that was another first, because we haven't looked after him on our own before. Although, truth be told, his dad was upstairs working, so we weren't completely on our own, but he was lovely. Wasn't a problem at all. And then we stayed for the evening. We saw him have his bath. We hadn't been there for the bath before. And stayed for dinner. So that was a lovely evening. There we go. That's another one. I like that one. I like them all, actually. I think they're really rather sweet. And they were inspired by her booklets, although, because I haven't made these before. I made something similar, but I haven't made them quite like this with that finish. So it's definitely an inspired by video. I've got this kind of fluffy trim, and as this is a bit blue, I wonder if I can get this to go through the hole. It's a bit thick. I may not be able to. We'll see. Perhaps if I poke it through with my little pokey tool, I can find it. I can never find the things I want to find in my pot. I know they're in there somewhere. Maybe I can use this. Hang on. Can I see it? Yeah, I see it. Okay. See if I can poke it through. Or, alternatively, grab it with my tweezers from the other side. Otherwise I might just stick to plan A and use the twine. use the jute twine that I've got, which Rachel used that for all of hers anyway. I just thought, I saw this and I thought maybe that would work. Just poking it through. I can get hold of it from the other side. Yes, I can. Well, you were no use, were you? Put you back. All about the tweezers. I use them such a lot. They just help me do the fiddly things sometimes. And you could use sari silk, you could use all sorts of things really, a bit of lace. There we are. I just had this funny little fluffy trim, so I used that. That one. And for this one, that's definitely a twine job, this one. I could try and do it with my right hand. That's not, I don't have the dexterity with that hand, being a lefty. There we go. That's it, got it. Decided to ruffle itself up a little bit, but it's gone through now. And ooh. Let's trim that off a little bit. Where did I put it? There we go. That one there. It's one for my, that's definitely for the Moroccan journal. And what we're going to use in here, I think we'll go back to the pink baker's twine, if I can find the end. Oh, there it is. I'll see it. It's unravelling, so I'm just going to take that end off, so it'll just feed through. Okay, actually it probably would look better if I had done a bow with that, because it's a bit thinner, isn't it? But I didn't, so never mind. And this little one, I do actually have all this baker's twine as well, which I keep forgetting to bring out. Got loads of that, so let's use that one. Nope. Yeah. What's that? Bit of something I don't need. Okay. Last one. How are we doing for time? We're just about there. Right. Okay, take that away, and that's that one. So let's put these pieces aside for a moment. You could really go to town on these and make a real pile of them, as you can with the ones that Rachel made. I've just done something a bit different, gone a bit rogue today. Hope she'll forgive me. I'm sure she won't care. Right, so this is my take on Roxy's Weekly Challenge Week 15. And instead of scrappy booklets, I've made scrappy notepads. So I've got that one, done a variety of sizes and widths and heights, and that one. And I've got journals in mind for a couple of them, I think. So that one clearly is going to go in the Moroccan journal. I think this one is probably going to go in my ballet journal. That one. I've got that one. I'll just bring these down a little bit so you can see them all. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for joining me, and I hope you're not too offended by the fact that I've changed Rachel's challenge to what suited me, and I thought I was more likely to use in my journals. And I will see you again soon. Bye for now.